Disconnected. It says chat disconnected. Okay, successfully connected. What's up? Somebody's already in here. If you're watching on Patreon, click through to YouTube to use the chat. If someone's in here, can hit me on the chat. Let me know. There was something else I forgot. Oh, this is a live stream at Saturday. Hey, Connor. November 10th at 7:13 Pacific time. It's a preview for what's coming up on the public podcast. Hey, Connor. Of what's coming up on our Patreon feed and what's coming up on the public feed. I'm going to be sampling, just like last week, eggnog. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a video next week. But this is the Safeway brand eggnog. You can see how early they put it out. I mean, this stuff has got to be consumed by November 21st. But it's holiday eggnog. It's got a nice little penguin and a bear. So they changed the label for this year. I'm gonna get it nice and shooken up. This is the full juice. I mean, this is the real stuff for somebody that can't drink. It's not the light. I'll test the light later in the season. If you're drinking it in a clear glass, that smells better than my glass did last week. Hit me with any questions. I'm gonna pour myself a glass, and then we'll run through. Probably spill this everywhere. Then we'll run through what's coming up. Okay, it's got a nice flow. Now this is like when you talk about budget nog, this was 2 for $5. Also, I bought another version of this. It was vanilla cinnamon. And I'm not here to throw shade on anybody, but don't buy. This is regular eggnog. Don't buy the Lucerne vanilla cinnamon brand unless you're going to use it for coffee creamer. It is like the sweetest thing. I mean, I like sweet things. It was so sweet, I could not consume it. Yeah, Connor, the conclusion came out this week, I think, on Wednesday. That was the last episode. It came out on Wednesday on YouTube. Oh, on YouTube, I think it comes out tomorrow night, though. Just because YouTube, since we got it's not connected to our podcast feed, but it's already in all the podcast apps. It'll be out on YouTube. It's just we've had to add in a couple extra layers on YouTube of work. Okay. The nog. So this nog's a lot cheaper. The nog I had last week was a $5 nog. This is a $2.50 nog. Yeah, it should be. If you listen to your podcast app, you should be able to hit it up. It's a good conclusion. Just skip ahead 22 minutes about. So this smells good, this nog. Yeah, it smells pretty good. Whew, did you see that steam come out of it? Chestnuts. Heidi, I tried to do it so people in all time zones have a chance. So, yeah, tonight I'm doing it Saturday night. They aren't really planned out just because my schedule's so tight. But I was like, I could do this right now. So this is a little watery, this nog. It's got some nice flavors. Is that nog in your beard, Scoots? A little grainy. I mean, I was just started, Heidi. Just doing some nog tasting. So this one, we'll have to see how it develops. We'll give it a little bouquet. You know, what do they call that when you air it out? It's got some good legs to it, though. Chestnuts roasting on an eggnog. Hey, Melissa. So let's run through. I mean, for $2.50 nog, I'm going to have to see how it compares to the Trader Joe's one. But out of the 2 nogs I've had in November, or maybe the last one was in the last one was in November too. The more expensive nog was tastier. Okay, let's see. Let me check what do we have coming up? Yeah, a little Saturday night, you know, can't stop, won't stop. I was just trying to get some work in because the holiday, and I got to travel for this show. I'm just working tonight, and then tomorrow will be a more intense work day. So, okay, first off with Patreon, thank you for everybody that's been participating in the fund drive. 100 people so far have decided to up their pledge. Our goal is like 450. But yeah, thank you to those 100 people who are pledging at the $1, the $5 level, or other levels, and said, hey, the show is worth a little bit more to me. Or I can budget that. So it's only a matter of if you can budget it and you feel like if you're supporting the show, Sleep With Me at $1, and you're like, well, I just signed up for $1 when I first signed up. It is worth $5, $10, $20. That's going to help us keep the show it's part of my plan to keep it at 2 episodes a week, which I'm going to do no matter what. So it'll just make it easier. It'll just make it easier on me. Let's see. What do we got here? So that's it. Anybody that is already a patron and you want to see how to raise your pledge, you just go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/Patreon FAQ. That has a link to how to change your pledge, how to set up your RSS feed if you've never set that up and you're watching this video. Definitely get it set up in a podcast app. It's just going to make your life so much easier. Podcasts are made to be consumed in podcast apps, and it's just a way better user experience. Let's see, what do we got? So what do we got coming up this week on Patreon? Tomorrow night, episode 720 comes out. It's a Good Place, season 3, episode 8, worst use of free will. I may change the title for the public release, but that's the actual title of the show. And because the fund drive, those are coming out at $1 or all patronage level. Tuesday night or Monday night will be a story only, or only the TNG version of Troy's in Charge, which is episode 694. It's actually that's not the name of the TNG episode. It's Disaster was the name of that episode, but I just changed it in the title to Troy's in Charge because she was in charge. Let's see, what do we got? 695 is a story only version of story only. Let's say Tuesday night. That's a story only version of episode 695, Fun and Food at the Fair. Wednesday night is still on the I'm not 100% positive what's coming out Wednesday night. I think it's going to be our holiday cereal series for patrons, episode 1, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So depending on how ideally I'll be able to mix it tomorrow and listen to it, and that'll come out on Wednesday night. So it'll be a new series, new characters. It's an episodic, 100% episodic series. So each episode is standalone, and it's called The Happiest Holiday Shop. Then the 15th will be the last night of the fund drive. And that'll be episode 380, story-only version of Priya the Prius. So that's an old episode. That was a cool one. That was actually one of my more favorite episodes. And then Friday night, I don't have anything scheduled yet. Waiting to see the editing channels because I still owe $10 and $20 patrons a on-location episode. So that may come out on Friday or Saturday, but I'm not exactly sure. And that would be next week. So that's what's on tap for the Patreon feed. For the public feed, tomorrow night is finally has an episode number. It's episode 719, The Greatest Greeter. And it was on Patreon a few months ago, and it's just gotten pushed back a few times. And it's a bedtime tale of greeting the world with kindness. And it's about the positivity, I guess, in greeting people and waving at people, and the greatest greeter of all time. And it was one of those episodes that came out of an intro where I was talking about that, and I was like, oh, I should just do an episode about that. I don't know if I did the episode the next day or a couple weeks later. I probably talk about that in the episode, but it's been a while since I recorded it. So that comes out on Sunday, and then on Wednesday would be episode 720 that comes out Sunday night for patrons. So that'd be the worst use of free will. So that's the schedule. Let me pop back into chat here and see what's coming up in the chat. And yeah, so those are the schedules. Let's see. What do we got here? Connor, Heidi, hi. Melissa, hi. Sepavance, hi. John, hi. El John. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and friends beyond the binary. Scoots is in the middle of intro. Connor at sleepwithmepodcast.com. I can't afford to buy Sleep With Me. I've tried. John, any more plans for real-time recipes? Yeah, there's an episode recorded. It's in the queue. Probably come out in January. I think it's but there is a real-time recipe episode done, or at least recorded, and first pass edits done. Still have to get another round of editing and listening. But I have that scheduled, I think tentatively mid-January off the top of my head. Hey, Jay, Brandon, thanks. Yeah, Muns in Space, like Stan's been a really solid character. Suave IT guy, hi, thanks. Hi, Jess Rue. Hi, thanks. You mean the credit song or the intro song? Yeah, Chris Postal does the intro, and Jonathan Mann does our lullabies. Thanks, Dave. I'm glad I've got a lot of anxiety. My middle name's anxiety, so I hear you. Oh, so we have another. I forgot we have a feature. So people in the chat, hit me with any questions. I'm going to pop over really quick to Patreon to make sure nothing got posted. Any questions there, or on Facebook? Oh, did that ever even get posted? It did. Wonder if they got posted on my personal page or on a Facebook group. Hopefully. So hit me with any questions in the chat. So speaking of real-time recipes, everybody knows I'm a big fan of. I'm not a fan of Trader Joe's. That's just where I get my food. And most of the time I have positive things to say, but I'm a human. I have tastes and things that work. So this is the first time I'm doing this. It's a buy, don't buy. Trader Joe's, buy, don't buy. And this is 100% don't buy. And I knew it, and I still bought it. But let's start. Should we start with the negative or the positive? Let's start with the negative. So I made, I'm glad I could help Margaret. It was a roller coaster of a night, I'm sure, for a lot of people. So I made Philly cheesesteaks. This isn't a real-time recipe episode, but I made flatbread Philly cheesesteaks. And, I didn't have Cheese Whiz or American cheese. So I said, let's go for the provolone. And I said to myself when I was in Trader Joe's, I was getting the ingredients, peppers, onions. They actually have shaved steak at my Trader Joe's. And then I was going to do rolls, but I was like, let's do it on flatbread. Trader Joe's got a pretty good flatbread. Not the flatbread for the pizzas, more of a tortilla-sized piece of flatbread. And I said, well, let's go with provolone for the cheese. And I said to myself, I was in the cheese. Stop me if you heard this. I don't think we have, but this is like a live podcast episode. But I said to myself when I was in the cheese section, I said, I don't call myself Scoots, but I said, didn't we have some provolone, like a provolone disaster in Trader Joe's once? And he said, no, that's probably another store. And I said, remember, there was something really funky about that provolone. And it wasn't that it was funky past the date. It was manufactured funky. And then I said, well, we need provolone because I would like, now that I've thought about having provolone on my flatbread cheesesteaks, I want provolone. So I bought the provolone. Trader Joe's sliced provolone. Notice it doesn't say smoked on there or aged. And I usually I'm not usually this harsh, but that's the foulest provolone I've ever encountered. And this is the second or the third time. The only reason I haven't thrown it in the trash is because I'm stubborn and trying to make look. So I added it to pizza like in tiny amounts, and it didn't ruin the pizzas, but like melted, it's okay. But it just when you open it, it's just a foul provolone. And yeah, Heidi, like usually I have Swiss and cheddar from them, and they're both fine. It's just something about the style of the provolone. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm against funky cheeses. I'm just not for funky provolone. Thanks, Pam. I'm happy to help. I had a couple of my friends worked for a Havarti company, so I got burned out of Havarti because it was like one of the only things I could eat at one point because they would bring home free cheese. Hey, Lady Steele. Oh, that's hey, CS. So that's don't buy. I mean, don't buy it. I can almost smell it through the wrapper. It's kind of like when you don't clean your sponge and like maybe you go out of town or something, or you left your sponge and then you touch your sponge and you get sponge fingers like from your dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what this cheese reminds me of. So sorry for the negativity, but we're going to take that frown. We're going to turn it upside down. Now, this is a product I hear people talk about. This is a product I've had in my home. This is a product that people use all the time. And somehow, now I may have encountered this at a picnic or something, or in a child's lunch that I took. But today was the first day I actually sat down and savored this. And it's soft and juicy mango slices. My daughter, I buy it and I put it in her lunch because I buy it because if I'm out of town and then I'm desperate for making lunches, it's like, oh, well, we have this, so you'll still have a fruit. But I have not, I'll be honest, like I've put it in my daughter's lunch. I haven't had it or I haven't sat down and we didn't have a citrus to have with breakfast today. And I got criticized for that. My daughter said, Dad, you got any cuties? I said, no, only one, sweetie. And then I said, yeah, I have some of the freeze-dried berries in there. Yeah, they still have they have blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, and broccoli too. But so I had 2 of these this morning. It was great. Actually, well, I don't want to have one right now because I've been drinking eggnog. Nothing like mango and eggnog. So that's a definite buy. I mean, and now let's just see if there's any added sugars. It has 23 grams. It does look like there is some added sugar. But it's pretty tasty. It's got, I mean, it's mango. It's fruit, you know, come on. Good mixed with yogurt. Oh, that's the freeze-dried strawberries though. So pour myself a little, thing, and I can stick around for a few minutes. Anybody has any questions? Saturday night, man, getting my nog on, snoring. Oh, you know what I could do is, I did this on Facebook. If anybody wants to see an unboxing of Quip toothbrush, our link is getquip.com/sleep. If you want to check Quip out, but hold on. Oh, God. I drink like about 45 gallons of eggnog during the holidays. Doobie. I only started drinking it like 2 or 3 years ago. Like I used to always, when I drank a lot, I'd be like, one day we're gonna have eggnog and mix it right. Now that I can't drink, it's like it's a treat. So Quip is somebody we're testing out as a sponsor. Oh, thanks, Eric. And it's a toothbrush I've been using actually for 2.5 years. And Sophia and I use the toothbrush as an electric toothbrush, but it's not one of those electric toothbrushes that blasts your teeth. But I just thought I'd do an unboxing so you can see what comes with it when you order it. This is my brother's toothbrush. I bought it for him because his dentist says he brushes his teeth too hard. So this is the toothbrush. It comes in this cool tube, which your kids, if you have kids, they can play with it in the tub. It makes for a cool thing, you know. It could be a submarine. Boop, 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 boop. So that's the brush head, and that's the handle. Also comes with this holder. Oh, thanks, Cap. Thanks, Cap. Yeah, it's probably on TV too. And then you get a refill pack. I think they send it every 3 months, and you get a new brush head. The handle you keep, and then in here comes with their own toothpaste. And hey, B. Hopkins, little travel toothpaste, which is nice. It smells pretty good. It's minty. But yeah, and they also have good customer service because I accidentally did something to mine and it wasn't working because I broke it by messing with it. And they sent me a free one. Co's staring at me. Don't worry, I won't brush your teeth with this. But it just buzzes when you got to change sides. So it's cool. GetQuip.com/sleep. If you want to get one, you get a free refill pack. And I think they start at like $25. And then it just comes to, like, you set up like a subscription. I think it's $5 every 3 months. Then your toothbrush just comes to you in a bat. I think in the packs I get a battery too. So anyway, that's another thing. I don't think I have any more Trader Joe's talk right now. I got to go grocery shopping tomorrow, but I'm going to be out of town. Oh, you know what? Here's a Trader Joe's tip. So I talked about this in one of the Fearless Flyer ones. They have these frozen mashed potato medallions. And I think in the Fearless Flyer one, I was like, oh, I got to try those. And then they were gone. But I bought those recently just for a side for dinner one time. And they're pretty good. So, if you're at Trader Joe's this weekend, you might buy a bag of that just in case. And then you got that like as a go-to. If your Thanksgiving planning goes awry, you say, well, I could bring mashed potatoes. I'm going to totally whip them up. They're as long as you add enough butter, they're tasty. Like you could get away with it. Not that I encourage that kind of thing, but I think, so yeah, let's see what other comments came up. Keep up the good work. Thanks. I'm happy to have you. There's a lot of competition I don't have like the ASMR microphones. I guess it would be hard for me to work ASMR into my workflow, but I did do, I think it's still on Sleep Phone's website. I did a ASMR version of Romeo and Juliet, like just a couple scenes from it up on their website. Yeah, so check that out. But I'll keep it in mind. Maybe I'll do it as another Patreon bonus down the road. Cool. Anybody anybody got any questions about anything? I'm trying to think of any questions. I'm trying to. There was a comment on Facebook earlier this week, and I'm trying to work on the release schedule. I know it was like a little bit Good Place heavy. I mean, with cutting back in 2018 to 2 episodes, the show has a little bit different flow because I'm still producing things in the same way. But it was also like The Good Place was in season. So part of the reason The Good Place was coming out every single week was just because I had a rhythm with the show, and just get really good feedback on the Good Place episodes. So the next 2 Good Place episodes, I'm going to stagger a little bit because I took that feedback from Facebook and I said, oh, okay, I could stretch it out a little bit. And we'll see with the second half, the back end of their season, if I can stagger it or not, and just keep the usual flow of the show, like TV recap, trending Tuesday style episode, written serial episode. Tomorrow I'm scheduled to record season 1 or episode 1 of season 2 of our serial story that'll be going in the new year. Yeah, that's it's going to be season 2 of Big Farm in the Sky PI with a little bit different twist, but not a huge one. Kind of like Stan Chronicles. I guess. But so that is written, but hopefully it'll be recorded and it'll come out probably in like late January, February, depending on how my holiday recording, depending if how many episodes I can get done between now and January. Any other questions coming in? Comments about the show? Where do people hear about the podcast? How many people listen on YouTube? How many people listen in a podcast app? Anybody? Any other questions like that? I'm trying to think of stuff that'd be like, how did you find out about the show? Anybody been listening longer than a year, less than a year? I mean, I see some familiar names, but the new names I'm seeing, I'm always curious. Or if you have questions, YouTube and Patreon, Apple's podcast app. Whew. Man, that Nog. This is Sippin' Nog. Podcast Addict. That's a good, popular app. Oh, yeah, Julian's the best, huh, Jessaru? Make sure to tell Julian thanks on my behalf. Castbox. They just relaunched. Was it Castbox that just came out on iOS? I remember seeing a news article about it. Yeah, I think I just downloaded it to test it. I met someone from another podcast app called Breaker that I'm testing out. I know the people at Radio Public are very, very nice. Podcast Addict, Overcast. There's so many good apps, podcast apps. Go-to episode. Well, it's interesting because that's a good question because this came up on Patreon. Is we're trying to enter the show in for a possible award consideration, and we're trying to figure out what episode to submit. And it has to have come out in the last year, so 2018. Is that what year it is? Clouds Heal. That's a good one. I don't know did that come out in 2018 or 2017? That's a good starter episode. So I'm trying to figure out what episode to put in for this award. Like some people said, Goodbye Closet, because it's personal. But then kind of it was like, well, that's a pretty insider episode. And then another recommendation was Weathered Weather Vane. I think like Weathered Weather Vane, Cloud Tower, those might be good go-to episodes for people. I mean, Cloud Tower is pretty weird, but not. It has Sleep With Me sensibility, but it's not dense. What else? Oh, maybe Skywriter. That might be another good starting one. Clock Tower, Cloud Tower. Yep. Listen on YouTube. Thanks, Pam. Greatest Greeter. That's about to come out. Mark, did you listen to that one already on Patreon? Yeah, that one comes out tomorrow night for the world. I haven't even listened to it in like 2 months. What else we got? 2017. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, I have to listen to Greatest Greeter again. Did I talk about Joy Germ Joan in that? I think I just burped. Sorry. Well, nothing like a Nog burp. That's where I was talking about Joy Germ Joan. And actually, I've been like, I think like the Greatest Greeter, that might be a way to, maybe we could get a Greatest Greeter Day going or assigned greeters where people are out there just waving at people. I guess on behalf of Sleep With Me and humanity, to wave at people to have a good day. Thanks, Aozumo. How do I say that? Ozumo. Ozumo. Yeah, I'm getting more and more feedback and hearing from more and more people that like to listen during the day or at some point at work or just when things get pretty intense. Osmo. 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 Oh, that makes sense. Oh, schmo. So yeah, that's cool. I'm glad like that you can listen during the day and that it chills you out. Koa listens. Koa will listen to about 6 episodes, depending on where I am. Sometimes 4, sometimes 2. And it's good because I can start the episode like 15 minutes before I'm leaving, and then I can proof the top of the episode like one more time and be like, okay, those are like all the segments, all the segments flow into one another. Yeah, I guess it's different for everybody. Some people fall asleep very fast, or some people have a conditioned response to it. Take the brain bots, Maureen. Yeah, that one's called Hamlet with Brain Bots. That was like a year ago because that I went to the play. I think I either found the ticket or I was thinking about I didn't do the subscription this year to the to that theater company, and because I was just like, oh, I can't. It's really hard to get out of the house, but I was like, oh wait, that was a year ago that I went to Hamlet. But yeah, that was real. Oh, I'm getting yawny. I think Koa's snoring has put me to sleep. Cool. Does anybody have any other questions or any thoughts or comments? Trying to think. I mean, I guess it's Saturday night. I try like, so usually I do these on Sunday, and it's like I've been out of town every other week. So then on Sundays I'm doing it like after I get back and settled from the airport. But then some Sundays I was trying to do it a little earlier in the day. But then I was thinking, oh, I'll try to hit Saturday just in case anybody in the world that's Sunday already for them, they'd be able to catch it. But I guess it's recorded anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But just for question and answer purposes. Man, you'd think, I'm trying to think. I think I slept like 7 hours last night, so that's pretty good. All right, well, I'm gonna put this nog away because it's a little bit too much. Let's see, what is this? Pretty standard nog ingredients. Oh, loud neighbor. I'm glad I can counteract that. Love the color pink. Sharon, thank you. And yeah, thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'm going to take off out of here. And yeah, thank you for all of the support, all of the kindness. Thank you for practicing kindness in your own lives. And spreading the word, just being nice, the spirit of the greatest greeter. Thank you, Charbo. Thank you for, and practice self-care, like take a few minutes every day. I'm trying to be better about it for myself and be like, geez, have I been kind to myself today? Have I been kind to other people today? Because it's not easy being human currently, or in historically, it's not easy being human. Currently, not easy being human. So in the future, hopefully we make it a little bit easier to be human. We're evolving and say like the greatest greeter. Thanks. Oh, Terry, that's terrible. I hope I can help a little bit. Are we evolving? I don't know, but we could choose to practice self-care, practice a little mindfulness, or try. I guess the main thing is it comes down to some days I don't do I mean, that I'm not progressing. What is it? Something not perfection. That's what we're going for. So one step at a time, right? But yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for coming by with this little live stream. I'll try to do some more. I don't know if I'll be here next week. Progress, not perfection. I should know that. I was thinking practice, not perfection. Practice makes perfection. I knew it started with a P. But yeah, that's it. Thank you and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends beyond the binary, I'm shutting down this live stream. Good night. Oh, wait. This one's for Mike. Please don't fall off my head. Pulling in my core.